Rob Reiner has died. He was best known for his breakout role as Archie Bunker's son-in-law. You could see there in All in the Family. Reiner's family confirmed to CNN that Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer Reiner, were both found dead. Detectives are investigating an apparent homicide at their home after finding two bodies there. The LAPD have not officially released the identities of the victims.
We have not identified a suspect at this time. We're going to try and speak to every family member that we can to get to the facts of this investigation.
Reiner's career in Hollywood stretched decades. He was a prolific director with titles including This Is Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, and A Few Good Men. CNN entertainment reporter Lisa Respers France joins me now. Lisa, it's fair to say this is an absolute shock nationally, but as well as for the Hollywood community. Can you talk about what you've been hearing overnight?
Yeah, what we've been hearing is people are devastated, as you said, shocked, cannot believe it. The word that I think is most going to be used when it comes to Rob Reiner is range. He had such an incredible range. He worked with so many people. Christopher Guest and his wife, Jamie Lee Curtis. Christopher Guest, of course, was in This Is Spinal Tap. They released a statement expressing their condolences and their shock. People are just mourning him greatly because he was so beloved, so well known. One of my friends said he's got to be the most popular Nepo baby ever because he went above and beyond what people expected of him. He continued to act, by the way. You know, he was just in season 4 of The Bear. He's in the sequel to Spinal Tap 2, which just came out. But he really, really loved making movies and just looking at that list of films, just banger after banger after banger. Just people loved what he produced. And they also are leaning into his love story with his wife because they met on the set of When Harry Met Sally. And he said, Audie, that he changed the ending of the movie and made it more hopeful and romantic because initially they were not supposed to be a couple, but after he met her, it sounded like it was love at first sight for him. And I mean, he was inspired to change the ending to that beloved movie. And so we know how they were partners, not just in marriage, but also in business together. They worked very closely together, and people just cannot believe this is a tremendous, tremendous loss for Hollywood and for the world, Audie.
Yeah, she had been a photographer, and when they did meet after that, they worked on many projects together later on. He also had praised his wife in the past, even because of some of his politics. He was very well known in political circles, especially among Democrats. I think the governor, Gavin Newsom, actually released a statement saying Rob was a passionate advocate for children and for civil rights, taking on big tobacco, to fighting for marriage equality, to serving as a powerful voice in early education. Can you talk about her and their partnership in activism?
Yes, they both were very passionate about people and especially the disenfranchised. And we see with Nancy Pelosi coming out and calling them dear friends and talking about their passion for others. President Obama released a statement. So they were extremely well known in political circles, but also because they really stood up for others. They believed in helping people that they felt were not getting a fair shot, not getting a fair chance. And they were both equally passionate, as I said, about doing that type of work and being outspoken about it. Neither one of them were shrinking violets when it came to their beliefs. And so they're being hailed not just for the work that they did, but also for the compassion that they led with in their lives.
You know, Lisa, these are people, as we said, they were still active, they were still working, they were still making projects. What are people out there talking about, you know, not their legacy, but even their active work in Hollywood?
Yeah, they're talking about what projects we will never get from them. You know, what they were, you know, there was a lot of conversation about the Spaceballs sequel and about Rob Reiner being involved in that. And people just are now saying, they had so much gas left in the tank. You know, they just were both so incredibly creative. And people are now saying there are movies that we will never get, that won't be produced, won't be directed by the couple, because they're no longer with us. And so there's just a great deal of sadness in Hollywood and among fans, but especially among people who knew them and loved them and worked with them. And so, their legacy stands, but it's a legacy that, even though, they had been in Hollywood for decades, still feels like it was cut short, Audie.
We're going to be hearing more outpouring of grief today from Hollywood. Lisa Respers, friends, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, good morning. Welcome to Burgundy Blue Commentary. We talk about what we want to talk about when we're ready to talk about it. We're talking about Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Reiner. Their son, Nick, has been arrested in connection with their deaths. Now, TMZ is reporting that the Reiner's throats, and I'm sorry, you guys, disclaimer, had been slit, and they were found by their daughter, and this is all alleged, like I'm getting this from TMZ and People. They were found by their daughter, and the first person she thought of was the issues they were having with their son Nick. So TMZ is also reporting that Rob and Michelle Reiner's their murders, they had just went out with a event for they went to Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, and their son came with them. They said that Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle and their son Nick attended Conan O'Brien's Christmas party Saturday night. At the party, Rob and Nick got into a very loud argument, loud enough for many others to hear. Reiner family sources tell TMZ they were told that Rob and Michelle then left the party, and TMZ does not know if Nick left as well. TMZ is the first to report the argument between Rob and Nick on the heels of the murders. So their family sources add that Michelle had been anguishing to friends over the last few months that she and Rob were at their wits' ends over Nick's mental illness and alleged substance abuse issues, and did not know what to do with their son Nick, saying, "We've tried everything." So, as you know, the legendary actor and director and his wife were found in the LA area house Sunday with their throats slit. Nick was arrested Monday morning. So, here's the report. Rob Reiner and wife Michelle's son, Nick, arrested for murder. Rob and Michelle Reiner's sons, Nick, has been arrested and is being held on a $4 million bail, TMZ have learned. The 32-year-old is in custody of the Los Angeles Police Department as of Monday morning, according to online records. He was booked at LAPD jail. As reported, the couple was found by one of their daughters Sunday with their throats slit inside their Los Angeles home. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald said Nick is a suspect in the case and announced his arrest on suspicion of the murder. Friends and collaborators Billy Crystal and Larry David were seen leaving the couple's home Sunday evening looking very distraught. An outpouring of tributes have come in following the tragedy, including those from Barack Obama, Stephen King, and Ben Stiller, among others. Page 6 was the first to report on the arrest. So let's go on over to page 6. Page 6 says, Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle's son, oh, sorry, guys, it's just pulling up, Nick, arrested for murder in his parents' stabbing deaths. Rob Reiner and Michelle's son Nick has been arrested on charges of murder in his parents' stabbing deaths. That's page 6 can confirm. The 32-year-old is being held, okay, sorry guys, at Parker Center Jail in downtown Los Angeles with his bail set at $4 million. A rep for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office tells page 6. Rob's rep did not immediately respond to page 6 request for comment. Okay, so here's a picture of the family, okay, and he's second from left. He has the Nike hat on. This is the one. He looks troubled in that photo. My goodness. This is so sad. This is so sad. So you guys will keep updating you as it comes along. Prayers to this family. They just didn't deserve this at this time, at any time. Hey Brandon. So Scott said he made a documentary about their son called Being Charlie in 2015 about their son's drug addiction struggles. Sure did. Let's go to that right quick. I felt like who started this? Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and share this screen here. Being Charlie was Rob Reiner's attempt to grapple with his son's continued struggle with drugs. A Rob Reiner film, screenplay by Nick Reiner. Wow. So it's a 2015 American. Let's read about this because I haven't seen this. I felt like I thought Julia Roberts was in this. I must have it wrong. Let's read about this. So it says, Being Charlie is a 2015 American drama film directed by Rob Reiner and written by Matt Elsafon and Nick Reiner. Okay. It stars Nick Robinson, Common, Carrie Yules, Devin Bostic, Morgan Saylor, Susan Miser, and Ricardo Chavira. It was screened in the 2015 Toronto International Film Festival. So let's look at the plot. It says on his 18th birthday, troublesome addict Charlie, who has been in and out of rehab for years, walks out of a youth rehab facility in rural Utah. He does so without incident as he is legally an adult. As Charlie starts to walk towards the road, he turns back and throws a rock through a stained glass window of the facility's chapel. Hitchhiking, Charlie is picked up by a man and his sick mother. The man agrees to drop him off at a bus station after dropping her off at home. However, when he discovers Charlie has stolen his mother's Oxy cancer treatment, he throws him out of his truck. Charlie calls Adam, his best friend and dealer, to pick him up. When he arrives home in Los Angeles, his parents stage an intervention. Charlie's father, David, was a Hollywood star who's running for governor of California. Now given the choice between another try at rehab or going to jail in Utah for damaging the stained glass, Charlie is forced to go to adult rehab. There, Charlie meets beautiful addict Eva, another enabler. He also meets a group of wisecracking misfits and the down-to-earth ex-jailbird drug counselor. A man at Charlie's most recent inpatient facility, who seems the most eager of the group, leaves abruptly after punching a concrete wall when he didn't get the painkillers he wanted. The time at the inpatient facility moves by quickly. There's a routine: group meetings, yoga sessions, visits from the meetings with family members, telling your story to get a new chip every month. When Charlie moves to outpatient house, the routine continues, albeit with some freedom. The head of the house where Charlie stays tries to explain the problem with having a romance during recovery. Recovery is and must be selfish, as addiction is selfish, and so Charlie's relationship with Eva might not work out. Charlie's mother gives him a firm, blunt but compassionate support and the love and encouragement of two parents. Oh, hey, Gardis. Oh, this is so sad. So after Charlie and Eva have their weekend pass together, although he is euphoric when he offers advice or wishes to talk about love, she shows fear, desperation, and sometimes blankness. At one point, Eva tells Charlie that the program is not working. He thinks it's working, but this time because they have each other. But she realizes he doesn't get her. Without warning, Eva leaves. Charlie abandons the outpatient home to find her, taking his mother's vehicle for the search. He tracks her down at Venice Beach. He declares his love for her, embracing her, but she seems vacant. Taking her to the beach house, although Eva sleeps in his arms, by morning she has left and emptied 2 bottles of wine. She's gone for good. Outside of the program, Charlie relapses. He is on the streets for close to 2 weeks when he is robbed. Broke, he seeks out Adam. They party, but Adam overdoses and dies. Charlie is exonerated, but it makes the news. The next day is the election, so he takes off for the beach house. Believing that it is unlikely he will win his run, David accompanies his inebriated wife to rest when an aide informs him of his victory. A huge distraction from what really matters, he accepts his win alone. The next day, David looks for Charlie. They make peace, and Charlie plans to head out into the world. He becomes a stand-up comic. Oh. Doesn't end up like that. That is so sad. This is so sad. So, man, we've been running into more and more of these stories of these children killing their parents. This is just, it's just sad. It's just sad. Hello, Tracy. Tracy says, prayers to the family. This is tragic. Yeah. We will keep you updated. This, man, it's just sad. They tried to get him help, couldn't get him help. And who would have thought an argument at a party, at a Conan O'Brien party, would possibly lead to this? I'm sure it's all kind of factors that happen, but it just leads to this. You know what I mean? And prayers to the Reiners, and we'll be back. We'll be back if we get any updates. Like I always say, take care of yourself and each other. Hug those close to you. I'll see you soon. Bye.